Hi everyone, it's Laura from orgjunkie.com, and I haven't done a video in a while, and I see people keep subscribing to my video channel and there are no new videos, so I feel bad about that. So I'm going to start again today, and I don't know exactly what I want to talk about, but I'm sure it'll just come to me as I'm speaking, because one thing I wanted to touch on was I mentioned in a post earlier this week about a basket I had that was constantly evolving. So it's my under the coffee table basket, and it started as a basket for baby toys, and then when my son got out of the baby toys, then it became a blanket basket, and then it became my crocheting basket, and now my daughter is using it for a homeschooling basket. And I got to thinking how that's really the story of most of the items in my house, and the systems in my house are constantly evolving. And I think that's where many of us get in trouble, because we purchase things, we bring them into the house, we set them down because we don't know where to put them, and that's, then things just start to pile up. So I think that's something we always have to remember, is that when something comes in, we need to find a home for it. If we don't find a home for it, it will just become part of the problem. For instance, say you buy a new crock pot. You bring it in, you put it on your kitchen counter, thinking, I'll find room in my cupboards for it later. Well, sometimes later doesn't happen for a while, and then every time you walk into your kitchen, you look at that crock pot, and it's constantly reminding you of something you need to do. It's there, you go, oh, I gotta do something with that. And then life happens and you keep going. But the thing is, that mental angst you feel every time you walk into the kitchen, it's there, right? And it's just negative feelings. So I think what needs to happen is we either have to really think about what we buy before we buy it, and think to ourselves, do I have the space to store this? Can I find the space to store this? Will I find the space to store this? And do I have the time or energy? So I think we really have to think about those things before we bring them into the house, and then when we bring them into the house, to just do it. I know we often get into our heads, because I do this all the time, we get into our heads that something's going to take a long time to do. When in fact, it would probably only take, 5-10 minutes maybe, like in the case of the crock pot. That might be a matter of just, switching some things around in a cupboard or what have you. And it probably isn't going to take as long as we build it up in our brains to be. I have found that with myself, over and over again. I have found that when I've worked with clients, that if we just get in the mindset that I'm just going to take 5 minutes and do what I can in 5 minutes, you'd be amazed at what you can accomplish in that time. And then all those negative feelings you have when you come into the kitchen and see something that needs to be done, or even if you open a cupboard and things are crashing down in your head, well, that's just mental angst, it's frustration, it's stress, and we could probably do something about that in a short amount of time. It's just something that needs to evolve. Every time we bring in something into our house, our systems need to evolve in order to accommodate that. So, yeah, I had just been thinking about that lately, and how I posted a picture or a post about my kitchen way back in March, and just recently I was looking at that post again, and I thought, wow, like, here we are in October, so it's not, it's not that long, but I can't believe how much my kitchen has changed in that amount of time. Just things being shuffled around, moved around. As new things come in, I can't just, it's one thing to just shove it in and make it work in the systems you have, but that's not optimal. It's best if we can carve out space for it and put it into the system, or create a system that works for it. So evolving is a good thing, and I think we just constantly have to be reassessing the things we have in our house. And yeah, I know you'll often hear the definition of clutter as being anything that we don't love or use. But there's another piece that's so important we tack on to the end of that, and it's things that we don't love or use or have the room to store. So even if we love it, and even if we use it, if we don't have the room to store it, well, you can pile it up in a corner, I guess, and you know, have it there. But I mean, that's a trade-off, because the mental angst you feel as you're tripping over something, I don't know, it's just something we have to think about and process. And anyways, that's what's been on my mind, and I hope that just helps you think about, you know, your purchases, your systems, whatnot. And if you got any questions for me, you can just, you know, comment, and I'll try to answer those and get into it a little bit more with you. Okay, we'll talk to you later. Bye.